Hey guys, Level here. Remember this video? Yeah, I made that video almost 6 months ago, and now we're in the year 2026. I still feel the same way about CS2 that I did in that video, and it's going to continue throughout this year. I already know it. So, this year, I got my 10-year badge. Okay, I was really looking forward to it because I played this game pretty much religiously over the past decade. I I really didn't even take a break from playing ever. There wasn't, I took a 1 month break once in CSGO, and every other month I played since installing the game. But in CS2, I've taken multiple breaks. I've taken multiple like multi-week long breaks, like 3 weeks at a time, without even playing the game because it's trash. Like, it's seriously fucking dog shit. Um, I just want to let's go to Mirage really quickly. All right. There's nothing wrong with Mirage. It's one of the best maps in the game, obviously, for a reason. I think the transition to, what the fuck just happened, bro? I tabbed out. So, like, in that video I mentioned before, where I say that Valve has abandoned Counter-Strike, that specific video was more focused on the maps at the time and how they removed Anubis.
Let's give it to them, boys.
And I thought I thought Anubis was one of their better maps, so I was really confused on why it was being removed. Um, I can make it even louder. And it's just like, okay, I'm in an offline server, obviously. Um, maybe this isn't the greatest. No, you know what? It is a good example, bro. Mirage is a good example. So here's what we're gonna do.
Go,
We're
go,
gonna
go.
grab some nades. Okay, do I have a no clip button? I do. That's fantastic. So I feel like the game was a lot better. We're in an offline server, so it's going to be really hard to show, and I'm not really going to go record gameplay just to, like, prove my fucking point. You're just going to have to take my word for it. So, in the beta, like, the game ran really well. In early CS2, the game ran pretty well, but there was always, like, little inconsistencies with, like, the crouch jumping, and they tried to fix it, but how am I not... I'm crouch jumping on this box. Like, how am I not getting on the box? Like, why is it so hard to get on this fucking box? I did it right the first time, and I can't do it right a single other time. See? Like, we're... This is ridiculous, man. Like, I'm like 2 for like 50. Like, where is the consistency in the game, bro? Like, I know how to jump on this box. I've done it the whole 10 years. Like, I know how to do it. It doesn't take skill. You just hold down buttons. Like, yeah, sometimes, like, some jumps, there's like a little, like, thing you can do with your crosshair where you, like, manipulate your body, you know? But this is stupid. Like, this is something that like, every player needs to know how to do this, and it needs to be an easy jump. And the fact that, okay, is this the trick right here? Did I figure it out? You have to put your crosshair on this light area right here, on this dark stripe. So right above the dark stripe, and then you crouch jump. Oh, I guess that's not the fucking trick, bro. Like I'm literally crouch jumping and I'm holding my fucking my fucking D key. Okay, found a crazy rhythm there. But I have to stare at the floor to get that rhythm to hit it 3 times in a row. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like I know how to make that jump, bro. I know how to make this jump, right? This is a jump everyone needs to know how to make, and it's fine, right? And if you try to do it from like a little bit further back and you're not like strafing, it's still hard. It's still hard. But like, like you could miss that. Realistically, you could miss that with the way the movement is. Um, this is something that they took out of the game and then they put it back in because it was missing, right? And it's like, okay, like this is an easy jump. How come I can crouch jump onto this thing that they put in the game, like, responsibly? Like that's a consistent one. How come I can't get on top of Firebox consistently, dude? Like why? Like this shit gets me killed sometimes just because it's actually not a skill issue. The game is just bad. Like the game is actually just bad. Um, I'm not gonna like talk about, it's weird. Like I don't even want to play anymore. I don't want to play Premiere. I'm so over Premiere. I'm I'm not a fan of the map pool. I'm not a fan of um the teammates that I'm getting because I feel like a lot of them are overinflated and boosted and they don't know how to play the maps. Um so for example, like if you're a Mirage A anchor and they're coming out, like you should be mollying it at the beginning of every round, right? So they don't rush. I do this lineup. I put it at the corner of that building. I run throw.
Throwing fire.
It's not the best, but it works. It's something, right? And then you pick a spot, maybe you smoke it, maybe you smoke a main,
Smoke.
and you sit sandwich. Maybe you play under balcony, right? I, like many pro players, like to sit default and I put my crosshair right here, right? So when they swing out, your spray pattern goes up. You know what I mean? Not here, because if the spray pattern goes up, you're missing their legs and you're shooting over their shoulders, right? So you just aim low. It's hard. You might only go 1 for 1 if they don't come out palace or if he comes out palace late and they clear this. You don't really have the most fun fight. But what I see a lot of players do, and this is like maybe low elo, high elo. It's like, okay, there's one player here, and there's another player somewhere on the site, and then the other player for some reason will just come to default and stand next to the guy crouching. And it's like, bro, you're body blocking me. Like, if I have to peek this and then run back and I'm getting body blocked right here because for some reason you're trying to go towards ladder when they're executing out and you're body blocking me, like, I'm gonna TK you next. I'll actually throw the game. I'll actually fucking throw the game because you are just literally trying to push me out of default so that I can die so that you can steal my M4. Like, and you're just terrible. So I have like certain players on Mirage, like just sit under Balk every round, right? This is real. I'm not even joking. This is fucking real. They play under Balk every round and they think they're getting value, right? So they get mollied out
Incendiary.
and then 3 guys swing here because you're burning and then you die. And it's like, yeah, but it's the only position I know how to play. It's like you're supposed to play under balcony. Okay, bro, like, yeah, you can play under balcony. It's a good spot, right? But if they are like countering you really hard, I would like consider playing somewhere else, right? So then when like the team, and not even me, it's not even me, bro. When the team asks you, people that are higher ranked, people that are 5 to 8,000 premier points above you, better players, on the scoreboard, uh, rank wise, for a communication wise, on every level, we're a better player than you, and we ask you to play a different position. And here's one of the 2 things you do, right? You play top balcony instead of bottom balcony, which just means that this palace player is gonna full clear you, and you're dead. It's the same thing, right? Or you play ninja, right? And then when you play ninja, you're crouching and you're not hiding your gun into the box, right? So the idea here is that you hide your gun into the box, because if you don't do it and you sit like this, the guy sandwich can see you, right? And the guy, oh shit, the guy here can see you, right? And he can spam you out, right? And if I walk out A main and it's like I have the palace guy there, we threw flashes, I'm like, okay, nothing default, right? Like I'm like, okay, nothing default, nothing here, nothing swinging me. There's a guy up there, my palace player will kill him. I'm gonna look under stairs, right? I'm clearing sandwich. I can go sandwich. Now I'm here. I see you. Like I see you and you can't see me. So first off, you have to hide your gun. Second off, this isn't a good spot because most of the time it's getting cleared by good players. So if you're gonna play here, you have to swing at the correct time and you have to give callouts. If you don't give callouts, and then like, let's say there's a jungle smoke and there's a stairs smoke and I'm the con player and I throw a defensive smoke past their jungle smoke and then I flash and then I'm fighting on my flash and my smoke, you should be fighting with me because if I die and the other A anchor died and the B player is in deep CT because he's rotating and you're the only one here and you haven't shot anybody yet, you're throwing the round. Like you're actually throwing the game. So it's like I can't deal with that anymore. And then it's honestly it's let's say they're not dying first every round, right? They're not going aggro for info. I mean, you don't have to do this, but like if you can take Palace, it's pretty valuable. If you can Molly A main, you know, flashbang, get in here, check for the shadow angle, look back, see if they're doing deep smokes, full clear it. If you can like sit here, maybe shift through T-spawn, right? I'm not saying it's the highest elo gameplay, but if you can get control of A main, especially in rounds where their entire team's going mid every round, so that way we just kind of know it's not A, and we're not getting picked off to the lurker, right? Because like a lot of Mirage games, they have an A lurk, right? So the guy comes out Palace on a crazy timing, and it's like you're probably doing something like this, right? Or I don't know, like this, or I don't even know. Like I honestly don't even know what goes through a low elo player. Like this is not a good spot to stand. I just want everyone to recognize this. You're exposed to the A main peak. You're exposed to the Palace peak. So if you're gonna do this, like you gotta like, go in and out Palace. You can crouch here, but like I don't really recommend it because again, the guy's gonna walk out Palace. So it's like dude, I actually have players that in a 1v1, right? Bomb is down here, okay? Bomb is down right there. T comes up connector, your CT. The T is coming up connector. He stairs. He kills me on sight, okay? Wherever I am, default, firebox. I die. I say he drops sandwich. He's crossing to sight. He's going to be close triple, right? Boom, he's coming close triple, right? He's crossing to sight and he's going towards triple. He grabs the bomb. He's going to peek CT, right? What's the first thing on my screen? It's the center of fucking CT. And like you have the audacity to just stand still here and hold the cross. Oh, I'm gonna kill him around that box. I'm totally gonna kill him, bro. I'm gonna kill him standing still, bro, while he runs across my screen. It's like, bro, can you like just take some like tact and like, you can hold this if you want. You can crouch peek this. You can go in and out. You can go deep. You can throw a fucking, if you want to, you can throw a fucking pop flash and fucking swing out and like you might lose. You can fucking molly the mid site, right? So he can't push. He can sit behind that molly, right? So then you just like bounce a flashbang anywhere, doesn't matter, don't think about it. Okay, that was a bad flash. But bounce any, just do anything, anything. I literally don't care if you're bad. Like, just don't stand in CT. Okay, just don't stand here. Do anything else. Do anything else to try to have some movement or remove some angles from the enemy player. It's just really bad. And then like I'll get teams, right? I'll get players that are like I'll get players that are like 22, 21,000 premier, and it's like, guys, let's think about it. How do we play B anchor, right? Gonna molly apps
Throwing
early
fire.
round, might throw a deep nade,
Throwing a
right?
grenade.
Okay. That's one. Okay. Other one is, you can I recommend mollying apps. You can smoke it if you want, right?
Laying down
You can
smoke.
smoke it and then you can go into apps and you can play under smoke. You can play close here. You can play here. It doesn't matter. Hopefully you have a mid player, right? If you're gonna play Van, right, and we're throwing a molly and we're gonna save the molly or whatever, right? We can jump spot however you want to jump spot. I don't care, right? Most people play with the smoke. Okay, we're jump spotting. Oh, I saw that guy. All right,
Throwing
left click a
smoke.
smoke. I'm going jail. I'm gonna play on top of bench over my jail smoke. I'm gonna play passive jail. I'm gonna make it look like I went behind my smoke, and I'm actually just gonna stay van the whole time, even if they molly me out, right? Because they'll molly me, and I'll be able to stand like here or something, and then like, oh, they're pushing. Okay, we'll throw kind of a smoke in the
Laying down
middle of
smoke.
apps, and then we'll nade it,
Grenade out.
and then we'll be on the barrel, and then we'll spam, right? Like, there's so many things you could do. You could leave the push. You could play here. You could play. You could play here. You could play here. I don't know. This one's not that good, right? You can play here and hold over the box. When that smoke fades, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. You can hold for the push out. I recommend if you save your molly or if you're rotating into B and it's an apps push, either molly van, molly the plat, or molly under the window here. It's really
Throwing
good,
fire.
right? Because they're going to jump off that platform into the molly and they're going to jump out of the window into the molly. So when I see a 21, 22K premier player, and this is how he plays B anchor, ready? Yo, I'm gonna kill him on this peak, man. Look at how fucking shallow the window is there. I'm gonna fucking kill him, bro. I'm gonna kill him, right? And by the way, he's not moving like I am, bro. He's standing here. I'm gonna kill him right here, bro. They're gonna peek into me. They're gonna peek into me, bro. I swear to God. Okay, sure. He'll peek into you. Yeah. You know what though? He's gonna clear right into market window, and you're basically dead. Like, this is an angle that gets cleared, okay? But the way he was doing, like, honestly, I was watching this one kid do it, and like, he was for real like in the window. Like he was playing here. He wasn't like on the pillar. You know what I mean? Honestly, I think this is a really sneaky angle. This crouch. I don't use it too often, but I think it's pretty like powerful if you're crouching. If you're standing, it's stupid, but if you're crouching, I think it's pretty powerful. But dude, this guy was like basically standing in line with the window. So any AK player that swings out is just insta killing you. Like, I mean, let's think about it, bro. We're B
Throwing
flash.
flashbang.
I missed. Fuck. I look stupid. Okay. B
Flashbang.
flash. B
Throwing
flash.
flashbang.
Right. There's a Molly van.
Incendiary out.
There's a. I don't know. You don't really need to worry about that. But the guy full swings here, right? And you're dead. He's full movement on this angle, and this is how you're playing B anchor. Like, how do you expect to buy any time at all for your team to rotate in? It's disgusting, bro. So major thing though. Major thing. We're on Mirage. We're in, maybe the top 4% of players will say even the top 10. Like I think if you're 15K, this should be a very basic concept to you. If we're going A and we call A smokes, somebody doesn't line up a smoke instantly and then throw
Throwing
it,
smoke.
right? Or wherever the fuck this that's here,
Laying down
right?
smoke.
We're not like a lot of people do this one still, which leaves like a gap. But I see people, okay, fine, whatever. You know a CT smoke. That's great that you
Smoke.
know a CT smoke, right? But you don't throw it when your team's not ready. Like if we're calling a smoke, somebody has to line up the smokes. I line up my smokes here, so it takes me a second to get there. I also need a second smoke. I also need a person in a main, right? So to make sure we're not getting pushed. Preferably this guy has somebody with them in case they do push, because I can't really help them from up there, because if I do, I have to drop down and I'm getting shot at, right? So we need like 2 people here. We need a guy throwing a smoke. I'm going to throw 2 smokes, and then we have a guy palace or mid or something, and then, preferably like we did some, mid control at the beginning of the round. You know what I mean? Just like some conditioning smokes or some shit to like make it, obvious that we're not going A. But like, it's just like, dude, the round is over when you smoke CT instantly, right?
Throwing smoke.
And then flash.
Throwing
Because we've
flashbang.
committed all of our resources here, and you just told them that we're coming here. Right? Like when you as like a solo player, or even I have it, even sometimes I have a stack. I'm queued with a 4-man, and they're throwing grenades before the 4-man who's in Discord is even ready to execute. How do you not know how to do a site execute and you're above 15,000? And I don't even mean 15,000, because I don't really go that low. The lowest I go is like 18, right? Thankfully, right? But it's like when you're in an 18K lobby, like I kind of expect that we know how to do a basic execute, dude. And it like if I say, "Hey guys, that guy stairs, he's really fucking us. But the guy on A, he's terrible, bro. He's a free kill. I think we can win the round if we do right side smokes," right? So what does right side smokes mean? And then someone says, "Oh, we're doing A smokes. I'm going to smoke CT." CT's on the left, okay? Let me just, let me take you back to school so you guys can learn your directions. This is the right, and that's the left. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry you don't know how to do that distinction. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to complain. This guy wants to throw a left side smoke. Like, I'm not going to get mad at my teammate for, like, actually throwing some utility. But the problem is usually when I'm asking for right side smokes, it's because their rotation is strong. So I want both smokes here so that we can stall out the rotation. And the reason I don't want a CT smoke is because the player that plays over here is usually out in the open, or he's fucking CT, like with an op or something. Like let's say he's opping, and I'm like, yo, they have an op ticket, and I do recommend smoking CT against an op ticket. But let's say like I know for a fact this player is not good at the game because of however he stands or something, or he could just have an M4 and he plays passive. Um, it's if he plays here, like, and you swing A main and you swing palace and you have right side smoke, so your palace player can instantly just peek ticket because they only play 1A. I don't need a fucking CT smoke. I'm trying to get an entry kill. Like what you're doing by putting the smoke down in some rounds against some teams is you're keeping that CT player alive for the retake. So in 20 seconds, when this smoke is faded, he's gonna kill the bomb planner. Like it's either gonna be here or there. Like he's gonna provide some kind of value. And if he doesn't provide any value with a kill, he's gonna be able to throw a molly. He's gonna be able to throw flashes. And that benefits the CTs coming from stairs. Also, if he stays alive behind a smoke and he's here, guess what's going to happen? In 20 seconds, the B player is going to go from market to CT and then here. So after we get the bomb down and, the one guy swings, the jungle smoke and he dies, and maybe the con guy, like, gets spammed through smoke from the palace player or something, there's still 2 guys here playing for a trade, and they're gonna attempt a retake still. Like, you want to deny the retake ability. You want them to come from one direction where they can't kill anybody, not multiple directions where they still have a chance to win the round. So that's kind of how I feel about Mirage, which is a solid map. I have no complaints, right? But, it's very hard when, let me give you guys a statistic. In my last 124 matches, I've played 68 matches against parties of 3 people or more. Majority of those games are 5 stacks, and majority of those games, or any game in general, there's usually someone, at least 1 to 2 players on the enemy team that are higher ranked than me, right? So over half of my fucking matches are against parties, right? So the party, the group is going to queue into a map that they know how to play, right? There, because obviously, like if you have 3 people or more, you're going to ban the maps that you're not good at, right? So you're never going to be caught off guard on a map that you don't know how to play, in theory, right? And you're going to have some system that you've built with your friends, your chemistry, um, that's going to help you, defensively and in the retake scenarios and on your T sides, right? So it makes it really difficult for me because I solo queue majority of my games. I mean, it makes it difficult because there's less mistakes, but at the same time, it also makes them more predictable, usually. Um, but if they're better than me, it doesn't really matter if they're predictable. They're gonna beat me, right? Because if they have multiple 25K players, I mean, I play games with semi-pros, pros, uh, top 1,000, top 100 premier players, face it challengers, fucking wall hackers. I've played a game against the number 3 guy in Premier. I played a game against, the top 10 people. I played multiple games against people that are in like top 10, top 20, at least in on the NA leaderboard. I've played all types of games. I played against good players, and it doesn't really matter. But like majority of the time, like people that are higher ranked than me, I'm 20K right now. I can I peaked like 22-7, which is like yeah, it's not that great, you know. Um I mean it's better than a lot of players, but like I don't have the mechanical skills to just, absolutely dumpster 25K players. Like it's just not I cannot carry the game on my own, especially if they have 1 to 2 players that are better than me and they're 5 stacked. Like I just simply can't. On top of that, the last few months, I've had some internet issues. Now, why do I have internet issues? Because we changed the fucking, like, the modem, okay? And the modem's just maybe not that great. But I'll tell you right now, I play a good amount of games, uh, and there's not a single game that is impacted by that, networking kind of issue except for CS2. There's something wrong with the network code in this game where my player model literally moves out. Like he literally moves on his own, and when I'm shooting my guns, the recoil gets fucking reset on its own. And it's like on top of having to play 5 stacks and better players in the majority of my matches, I have to deal with this
We must work
this
together.
networking shit. And I know I'm not the only one. Like you can look up Reddit threads. Like the game has issues, okay?
Let's go, my brother.
Um, they came out in a developer post like when they first introduced this buffering to smooth over packet loss thing, which is just the old rate command. Um, like, and it looks like this. So like this one is like 0.0.01, and like this one is 0.03 or something, or zero point 0.3, or it's it just delays like the information. And I think if you do this, right, where you have extremely restricted to not have packet loss, and you do 2 ticks to delay the information on the server, the game becomes really fuzzy. Like hit registration, it's not really hit registration, it's the player model. The player model becomes like harder to track. I don't really know how to describe it. Like it's really only visible to the trained eye. So you're like, again, you're just gonna take my word for it. But like, bro, I'll be lagging because this is the only game with really poor server networking. I play all types of AAA games. Like this is the only one, so it's not really my internet. It's like more the game, and they need to fix it. I'll peek this, right? And we'll peek lower tons, okay? And like my body will like skip out into the box, right? It'll like bounce out. So I can't even do like a proper counter strafe, or I can't do a proper wide swing. And like I pushed a guy in lower the other like before, and he was on this box on the back wall. All right, and I think there was a smoke here, and then the smoke faded. And I played the game a long time. I have a pretty good understanding of the AK spray, and I also know how to pull my mouse down in a straight line. And this guy was standing here, and I peeked him after the smoke faded, okay? And I went out, and I crouched. Like, I went out with a crouch, and I pulled straight down, okay? And, like, that's not exactly a straight line, but that all those bullets would have hit him, okay? All of these bullets would have hit him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 bullets would have hit this guy. And I think I hit him 1 in 27. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to spray. I know how to spray at a guy that's standing still, right? Especially for the amount of bullets that I shot, okay? And, like, I hit him 1 in 27 because when I swung, I was pulling down, right? But I, like, lagged while I was shooting, so it reset like, my spray upwards. So it went like this. Kind of. Like, it kind of did that, which made it so that I only hit him once, and then, like, I died. And it's just like, it's not just like once in every, like 10 rounds, like I have a lag spike. It's persistent. It's every round. It's every time I shoot my gun. It's every time I'm close to another player. And then there's a delay, right? So, like, let's say I'm the CT player, B anchor. I'll go fucking B site, right? And I'm okay, we're going B site. Oh, we're gonna cross suicide. Oh, nothing suicide, boys. Maybe something fast, right? Okay, we're gonna molly fucking the tunnels push, right? And then I'll lag forward, right? So crosshairs here, I'm holding only my W key. I'll lag forward, and my molly will go over there. And I didn't move my mouse. I didn't hold D. I didn't hold A. I'm moving in a straight line, and I'll just lag. I'll just go, yeah, I'm going this way. You know what I mean? And I'll miss my fucking molly. And if you have a CT molly, this isn't doing shit. Like, there's a gap. They can actually just run out, right? I have a T molly, so at least it covered the staircase, right? But, like, let's say, same thing. Um, um, I'm going long, whatever, and I'm trying to throw the molly, right? And instead of throwing it here, right, I usually come close, and I go here, right? And that's fine. It's not super deep, whatever. But like I'll be going straight and I'll lag, and it will move over to the right. Same thing with a nade. If I'm throwing a deep nade, and then I lag, it'll just move. It'll just move, or I'll like glitch into the pillar here, and it'll bounce off the pillar. Like it's not me. It's just purely my like the information that I'm receiving and sending out, and it's because the game is poorly optimized. Like I was DMing, okay? I was DMing on third party DM server, right? And I spawned here, right? Or like I spawned around here, and there was a guy in tunnel, and he was on the far right side. So I was like, oh, he's on the far right side. I'm gonna go left, and I'm gonna like I'm gonna try to one tap him, right? I'm gonna try to one tap him. So I went here, and then I glitched out, and I went all the way wide, and I was over here. So I tried to shoot him here, and I lagged out all the way here, right? Because I want to use this corner, this exact corner, to try to stop his bullet. right? So in the event he's aiming at my torso, I want him to like shoot this. You know what I mean? This corner. So I'm playing this corner and then I'm going here and like I lag out all the way here. And I'm out wide and like of course he's gonna kill me because I went too wide and I can't even fight back. Like it's impossible to fight back. Especially like in this DM server because I was playing against Nitro, I was playing against Drop, I was playing against Stewie 2K, I was playing against No Cries, I was playing against a bunch of other fucking pro players, some guy named MDS. Trying to think if there's like anybody else. Um, there was other people, but I just can't remember. But I'm literally playing like against fucking pros in DM, and of course they're gonna one tap me if I'm standing here. You know what I mean? Like they swing out. Oh shit, he's right there. That is just pointless. It's just like I don't know how I'm supposed to support this game. And then like speaking of the DM server, like they don't even provide. If you click this button, community server browser, it's been in the game for 2 years. They don't even have servers on it, bro. There's not a server on there. If I click this, you can't see it because my OBS doesn't show it because I have a setting. But if I click this, I can actually go to my history and click on something to look at my history of community servers, and I can see only a few of the servers that I used in CSGO. And one of them actually works. It's a 1v1 server, but I didn't join it, but it was the only one that works. And then there's like 3 Half-Life modded zombie servers. I don't even know if they have players, but it's weird the community server doesn't work. And if you want to surf or something, you have to go get an IP from like, some Google search. Like why can't you just have it in the game? Um, so like limited community interaction, really poor networking, really poor coding when it comes to the crouch jump, right? Like how come all of a sudden the crouch jump on fucking Mirage Firebox like just doesn't work? Can I think of anything else? Okay, so I missed something about Dust 2 that's been pissing me off for 2 years straight. Okay, and I'm actually gonna open up CS Source just to see if it's also a thing in CS Source. So I'm queuing a match. Hold on. So I'm gonna show you something I think is really important. That could be like round losing. Like I'm surprised I haven't seen it in a pro match yet. Like some highlight. So or low light, I guess. So we're on Dust 2, right? We're in lower tons. Let's say we're on T side. We took lower early. We're fighting catwalk. We're contesting mid door. My team's coming up cat right now because we killed the guy catwalk and this is smoked off and I'm not going to push through it because I'm not an idiot. Okay, what's my job as the lower guy? So I'm probably cutting off rotations here. And what I'm going to do is temporarily, I'm just going to make sure I'm not getting pushed because maybe we did an A split and my team's out long. All right, so we did an A split. What happens when you go out long? A lot of B players push through tunnel, especially if they're like a weird player that only buys like shotguns and shit. If they're buying shotguns, they might push through tunnel and look for an upgrade on a gun. So when you come here and you have to go wide and clear them, you know what I mean? And it's like, I have a pretty good read on the game, so I'll probably kill this guy. But there's certain times where like I'm running through lower, maybe, you know, I'm in a 1v2 and I'm on catwalk and I'm like, "Oh shit, there's a guy ramp and there's a guy car." Well, there's one guy missing. He's a B anchor. I don't know where he is. I'm gonna go fucking B. Just like I'm going here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. What was that? Wait, is it gone? Did they smooth that out? Wait, it's gone. There used to be a thing here where you would step on it and it would push you up. Did they finally remove it? I feel like I walked into it the other day. There's no way they removed it when I'm literally about to talk shit about it. That's crazy. Wait, they smoothed out lower? Dude, this has been pissing me off for like forever. There's no way they smoothed it out. That's crazy. So they definitely did something in the patch notes. Took it, dude, it took them, if you know what I'm talking about, there was a little lip here where you would jump up and you would lose your ability to walk on the staircase. And I won't say it's gotten me, it's probably gotten me killed before because I was probably like trying to get up the staircase as fast as possible to like chase somebody down. And then like I would do this and like he would re-peek me, right? And I would like jump up like right here. It would be like, "Oh, you've lost all control of your ability to shoot accurately." So thankfully that's gone. Like at least they're making, I mean, I think it's gone because I haven't been able to trigger it. Hmm. It looks like it's gone, but that was definitely something that was in the game for way too long. I was literally about to go open CS source just to see if it was like that in that game. I think that the in terms of the maps, like let's do a map tier list. Should I do a map tier list? Hmm. Because I was gonna speak on just the like the visuals, maybe. Because like the visuals of old Dust 2 are way better than the current Dust 2. I really don't like how the current Dust 2 looks. Compared to the old Dust 2 where the buildings are blue and there's details on the wall. Um, yeah, I mean, like Inferno's in a terrible. It's I hate playing T-side on Inferno. Like it's so hard to get rounds and carry on your own. Um, and it's like, dude, they removed train, which they kind of like just added. Okay, think about it, right? They added train how long ago? Was it 1 year and like 3 months? And that's the only thing they've done to the game. Do they have patch notes in game? They should. News. Let's look at the news page. Okay, so service metal, major update, major update, major update, major update. True view. This is a cool thing that I'd like. I think this is a good update, but this should have been included in like a major update because honestly, majority of players aren't watching demos and I have no interest in watching demos anymore. I'm kind of retiring. Like I'm kind of like not really feeling the game too much anymore. But this is a good change, I guess, just to make the demo like more accurate. There's retakes, which I feel like they butchered. I feel like they butchered the retakes. I think they should have added more and made it more convincing. I think third party retakes servers are significantly better. This one is a community map update, so it doesn't count because it doesn't impact the core game. This is some kind of scam that they're trying to implement into their game where like they get people to pay fucking, exorbitant fucking prices for items in their game. It's like, okay, cool, like weird money grab. They just re-released a map that they already had, except they changed a gradient on it to make it nighttime, and then they made it rain a little bit. So they didn't do anything here. This is that season update thing where you can go look about pretty much how I feel about this change in that video I mentioned at the beginning of the video, where it's, Valve abandoned Counter-Strike. Um, that was closing in on 6 months, or I guess 6 or 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1. So yeah, almost 6 months. Actually, 6 months tomorrow. Another major update, right? Majors, and it doesn't even go back that far. So they released Train in like November of 2024. It replaced Vertigo sometime early in 2025. So no more Vertigo, which is probably my second best map in terms of how I individually perform on the map. Like I know how to play Dust. I'm not like I don't consider myself to be like a great Dust player, but like I know how to play it obviously. I know how to play Mirage. I know how to play Inferno. I I have the ability to find good impact on a T-side ancient, but I don't consider myself a good ancient player. I don't consider myself a good nuke player. I don't I don't really like this version of Train, and it's like they they didn't really give it a chance, bro. It's like if it didn't work, they didn't try anything to try and make it work. They didn't rearrange the trains. They didn't add another train. They didn't add a different type of train. They didn't cut the train in half. They didn't open doors on the train. They didn't um make a new entrance. They didn't like I don't it was in CS:GO. It was a very underplayed map that wasn't well received by a majority of players because it wasn't picked, right? It wasn't picked as a map. Um and people didn't know callouts and they didn't know how to play it. And on both versions in CS:GO and CS2, you would play 4A and you would play 1B. And I don't think that that's a viable like the whole setup here of the CS2A site is that we've moved the trains around so the T side can get more active. And it's like the T side is not getting more active. It's like they're not like they're still walking into four fucking guys. So you need to make the B site more viable. And it's almost more viable, but the way Pop Dog works, it's hard to grab Pop Dog control if the CTs are good at holding T-Con. And B site is so open that like even if you get out, you can get a bunch of gunfights. Like you can also be shot from a lot of different angles. So like I just can't believe that they brought this map in. They worked on it for 2 years. How long were they working on it? At least a year. At least they were working on it for over a year at least, minimum. They brought it in and then they took it out after a year and 3 months. So why would you spend all that time working on the map? Because if they do the same shit with cash, right? The entire community wants cash in the game. You don't give us cash. If you put it in the game, I don't even know how long that's going to take or if it'll ever happen. If they put it in the game and they fuck it up and then it sucks, and then they're like, oh, you guys don't like what we did. It sucks. Okay, cool. We're just going to take it out of the game. What is the map pool, bro? Like, what? Like, they're bringing back Anubis, but and on Twitter they said they might make changes. Like there was like some like conspicuous tweet that was like, "Oh, you'll see if we made changes." I don't think they're gonna change fucking squat, okay? And if they do, it's not gonna be like anything really relevant. Like they're just gonna do the same thing they did with train. Oh, we added 2 boxes, and then we're not gonna update it for an entire year. So okay, cool. Overpass came out 2 months ago, and they didn't change a single thing since CS2 released. There has not been a single update to Overpass other than maybe they moved a railing slightly. Like, hold on, let's just see. CS2 maps that have been updated. Ready? Dust 2. They added a box to go to Catwalk. Great change. Nothing really changed about the map other than CTs can take mid and Catwalk a little bit quicker. Mirage, zero changes. Inferno, some graphical changes, some they changed like the arch in middle, which I actually kind of liked the arch in middle. They changed church, they added a window, they changed the ledge in the back behind coffin, they made a change to the new box. At least they tried here. And then they put the railing back on Inferno balcony when I feel like the map played a lot better without the railing. So they actually made a good change and then they made it worse again. Um, but nothing too crazy. Like they were trying to fix something that they rebuilt from the ground up and they ruined from the ground up. So, okay, like I still don't know how I feel about Inferno, but whatever. Ancient, did they make any changes? I don't think so. I don't think they made any changes to this map. Any changes they made to this map were made when CSGO still existed, I think. Nuke, did they make any changes? No, not a single change was made to Nuke. Train, did they make any changes? They added 2 boxes, which were crucial because there were no boxes there prior, which I have no idea why there were no boxes there prior. I went over Overpass. Probably nothing is going to happen to Anubis. Vertigo, did they make changes during CS2? They added the wall on A site to try to make the A site more dynamic and better to watch. And I think it worked. Oh, and the catwalk. And that's it. That's the map pool. Like the game's been out for 2 years and I've mentioned some minor changes. Like seriously? How's the Wingman game doing? Oh, still only fucking 4 base maps. Cool. Um, like I can't play Aztec. I can't play Cobblestone. If I wanted to play normal Ancient, I can't. I have to play Nighttime Ancient. The deathmatch spawns are terrible. Whoa. Oh, this is practice. Okay. Yeah, again, I can't play normal Ancient. Anubis is coming back next week, and I can't play casual on it. Um, I feel like out of respect for the hostage game mode, you should probably have a third map. I'm just saying, Office and Italy are a little overplayed. Like, we could probably use a third or even a fourth hostage map for people that enjoy the hostage game mode. Um, we have 4 arms race maps. One of them is extremely small, and 2 of them are the exact same map. I mean, do we care about the game? I don't think so. Like, I have to be honest, I don't think we care. Talking more about like the 5 stacks that I was running into, what happens is there's one player on the enemy team in that 5 stack that is low elo, right? And that person could be smurfing, that person could be cheating, right? But let's say they're, below 15,000, they could be 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. What that does is makes it so that if I win, when I'm already under the circumstances of playing against a five stack that has 1 to 2 players that are probably better than me because they're 25k, right? That makes it so that I can only gain less than 250 points for the win. And it's usually closer to 200, below 200. I've had games where it's literally 101. I have had games where I play against a five stack and I have to sit there for 40 minutes for 101 points. And if I lose, it is close to minus 600. It is almost always over 470 or 500. And I've had it lean into the 550s, the 596. Like, how can I play a game and win against a team that has a really, really good chance to beat me? It's not like I'm guaranteed the fucking win. I don't get a lot of games where the five stack is all players that are lower than me, which is how it should be, right? They're going to gain a chemistry advantage that my team doesn't have, but I have a mechanical advantage and a game knowledge advantage, right? And they're not that far. Let's say they're 16 or 17k, right? Right now, I'm 20k. So I'm only 3,000 points above them. So if they work together, they should be able to kill me. You know what I mean? So they have a good chance to win. You can give them bonus points, for beating me because I'm higher rank, but I shouldn't get punished. Like if I beat a five stack of like 16 to 17 Ks, I think it should be like plus 250. Like I think that's fair, you know? Maybe I won't say 300, but you know, but don't give me plus 100 minus 600. Like that is ridiculous. And the 16k example does not happen. I am almost always playing somebody that has 4,000 to 6,000 more points than me on the enemy team. And it's some guy who's like he plays an ESEA main and he's like a fucking opper for his team and he's gonna drop 34 kills this game. Guaranteed. Because he's mechanically better than everybody in the lobby. And he has a better computer. Like my computer's not that great. And I have, the aforementioned internet issues, right? Where I'm at a real disadvantage because as soon as I hit left click on my mouse, it's going to be like, oh, that's too much information going to the server, so we're just going to put your fucking gun in the ceiling and you won't be able to shoot accurately. Okay, fine. I better hit a headshot on the first bullet if I'm going to fucking lag every time I hit left click. My bad. And for the most part, I've been doing that, which is why I was able to get back to 20k. Like I lost it. I was 22,000 and I fell down to like 18 and a half or something. And then the whole time I'm in 18k, I'm versing 25k five stacks with, one bad player on their team. Or like 20k, we'll just say 20k five stacks, right? And they have one 25k and they have one guy that's like 10,000 and it's just impossible to climb because if in order to climb I need a minimum of a 60% win rate in order to go even. I need a 60% win rate to go even, and I need, probably like a 65 to 70% win rate to actually start climbing, right? So as we can see here, I won a bunch of games in a row, and that's how I was able to get to 20k. It's about win streaks, right? And that's fine, but this isn't normal. Like majority of players are probably at a 50% win rate. Um, all time, I have an above 50% win rate on every single map. I think this season my worst map is probably overpass because I think I started out the season like 0 and 13 and I am ending out the season like 0, 6 and 1, right? I don't have like a crazy, I think I played like 60 or 70 overpass games on the entire season. Maybe that's a lot. I'm not really entirely sure. But I I'm probably still at 50% win rate on arguably my worst map. Like the only loss I have here is overpass on this screen, at least. And I don't know, man. The game is just a sick fucking joke. Like I know you can solo queue 225 and 30K. I've seen it, but it just feels really difficult. And until they fix the matchmaking where I play less five stack, over half my matches are against stacks, and majority of those stacks are five stacks. So like basically I have a 50% chance to play a five stack. That's ridiculous. As a solo or a duo, I should not be playing against fives that frequently. And they need to fix the gains and losses, okay? Because I think there's players that like should be higher than they are, but then there's a lot of boosted players that just get placed really high. And I think that I don't know how the system works. I really don't because there's some terrible, terrible players that can climb with a 40% win rate and they can climb up into 20K on 40% win rate. And like for whatever reason, sometimes when I do it, I need like a 75 to 80% win rate, and then other times when I do it, I need like a 65% win rate. Just on whatever win streak whatever like size amount of games, whether it's like 30 or 50 games, like I need to win, a lot more than half. And then like other people can lose literally 60% of their matches and then just get 20K because like they were placed like 18K and like the game like but they're terrible player. Like they don't know how to play at all. I just wanted to complain a little bit. It's just kind of silly. I think I'm pretty much done with Premiere. I might I might play a little bit of comp just for fun. Like I mean, especially if like Cash comes out, I'll probably play a lot of comp on Cash. It's my favorite map, and it's probably my best map all time. And maybe I'll play like Face It casually, but I think the game's dying. I think people only log on to look at their expensive inventories and they don't care about learning how to play correctly. They're just like, oh, I have thousands of dollars in my hand. I think that's majority of my teammates, and it is what it is. Like people queue up, they don't call out. It's like, why are you not calling out? And then I get Russians on my team or Chinese people, and I go out of my way to go to Google Translate to learn a call out, and then I say the call out, and then they curse at me or they tell me to shut up or they call me the N word when I'm telling them what e-box is. And it's like I'm making the call outs. If you turned around and responded to the call out, we would have won the round. You know what I mean? But instead, you want to look the opposite direction of the guy who killed me because you don't have a headset, so you can't hear that the CT was shooting his gun because you're fucking clueless and you're a bot. But hey, here we are.